I cannot stress enough how important it is to keep on top of your superannuation payments, and Xero makes it super easy to stay compliant. I've seen it many times where cash is tight, so superannuation payments get behind. Now, business owners don't think it's a priority because the super funds usually aren't banging on your door asking for payment like suppliers might be. And I totally get it. It's really important to keep on top of your supplier and your team payments because without them, you won't be able to deliver to your clients. But not paying your superannuation can have far-reaching impacts for your team, for your business, and for you personally. With Single Touch Payroll, the tax office is more aware than ever before how much super you owe and when you pay it. And there is no leniency on super. If you are just one day late, penalties will apply. So first, bring the superannuation up to date. If you've got overdue super, ask your bookkeeper to help you with what's called an SGC Charge Statement. This is basically a form for the tax office advising them of the late or overdue super, which they already know about. They're just not knocking on your door yet. And when they do knock on your door, it's in the form of an audit, which is not what you want. There will be penalties and interest applied, but early disclosure is important as the problem is not going to magically fix itself or go away. So it's best to get in front of it. If you've paid the super, but it's late, also do an SGC charge statement. Penalties will still be incurred, but if you wait for the tax office to eventually catch up with you, they'll be a lot higher. If you haven't paid the super and cash is still tight, lodge the SGC charge statement forms to the tax office and the super can be paid to them rather than to the super fund. And unfortunately, it will take longer to get to the employee's accounts, but at least this way you can put a payment plan in place and you're squared away. And one hot tip for you, if you are the director of the business and on payroll and have paid super for your team, but not your own, the same rules apply to you. So don't think that penalties won't apply for not paying your own super. Now, how do you keep on top of your super and stay off the radar of the tax office? Quite simply, you pay it on time. Now, we all know the due date of super is the 28th of the month after the end of the quarter, but don't be mistaken into thinking that that's the day you should make payments and you're all good. The 28th is actually the day funds need to be in your employee's super account. So it's got to go out of your account into the clearinghouse, and then they distribute the money to the employee's super fund. Now, you'd think with the technology currently available, this would take a day, 2 at the most, right? Afraid not. If you're lodging super through your Xero software, which I recommend that you do, you should allow 14 days for this process to happen to ensure that the money is in the employee's super fund by the due date. And if you're using software other than Xero, check their recommendations on the cutoff date to ensure it's lodged and paid on time. Now, up until recently, we were lodging most of our clients' superannuation monthly rather than quarterly. And we've recently introduced payday super across the board. This means that as part of our payroll process, superannuation is paid at the same time. This means there will never again be late super and the penalties associated with it. Any returned super issues can be sorted without worrying about a deadline looming, and it's great for easing the cash flow burden at the end of the month or quarter. And it's going to be law soon anyway, so we're just getting a little ahead of the game.